This is Share Life Today. You know, recently I heard a great story that involves a Vietnamese Christian by the name of Thoy. Because it might be hard for us to understand his English, Thoy's pastor has agreed to share his story for us. So right now, I'd like you to meet Pastor Phien. Phien is a longtime friend of Evangelism Explosion, and he's the pastor of the Vietnamese Evangelical Church of South Florida. So welcome, Pastor Phien. It's so great to see you. And before you tell us about Thoy, first to tell us how you got involved in Evangelism Explosion.
Thank you for having me. And yes, I was involved with evangelism for a long time, since 1983. I was a student at a seminary in New York, and at one time I went to a church in Lancaster, and Tom Stebbins was teaching EE there.
Fantastic. You know, Tom Stebbins has had such an impact on so many young men around the world, and you and I are both some of those young men. I was actually led to the Lord by Tom Stebbins and then trained in EE as well. And I remember those days of you coming down and what an impact that you've had, not only here in the United States, but literally around the world. Now, obviously, Pastor Phien, you as a pastor want to see the members of your congregation learn to share their faith. And so you've had a man in your congregation that's been true of, and his name is Thoy. Would you tell us his story, please?
Yes, one year we decided that everybody in the church should know the EE outline. And so instead of having Sunday school, we take one semester to learn EE, everybody, from young to old. Everybody learned the EE outline and all the Bible verses. And it's hard for the older folks to memorize the outline, but they did it. They went through it and excited about the Lord. And one man in particular, he has an exceptional good memory. He's 70 years old, you know. His name is Nguyen, and he was excited about sharing Christ with people. One time he has his in-law came to visit from Vietnam, and he has a morning walk with that man every day for the whole month. And he talked about anything and everything except sharing the gospel, because it's easy for him to share it with someone he doesn't know, but he is his in-law, and he has such a burden for his in-law. So he called me one day and he said, how can I start sharing the Lord with this man? I said, just go through the E outline. He just started with the first item and go and ask the two questions, and if he's ready to listen to the gospel, just share with him. So in one morning walk, they walk and he started asking the questions and got to share the gospel. And the man stopped and say, I want to pray to receive Christ right now. Mr. Toy say, no, 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 let's go home and we'll do it. So they went home and knelt down in the living room, and the man received Christ as his Lord and Savior. And he was so excited, and he came and shared with us about his experience. And then he made a decision. He said, well, so many of my relatives in Vietnam do not know Christ. I have a burden for them. I want to go to Vietnam and share Christ with them. But I promise that this time I go to Vietnam, no sightseeing. I will just go with the one purpose only, and that is to share Christ with my relatives. And the Lord make it possible for him to go to Vietnam. And he shared the gospel with 16 of his relatives.
16, wow.
7 of them came to know Christ.
7 of them made professions of faith. Wow, that is fantastic. That has got to be such a joy in Thoy's heart, huh? To see this happen in his own family.
Yes, he's very excited. He shared with me that right after they received Christ, they want to take out all the altars. They have so many altars in their house. The altar, Buddhist altar, and ancestor worshiping altars. And they said, well, wow, you help me take it down. So he took with the power drill. He just done and everything, and they took it outside, and he smashed them all. He took a piece of wood and smashed all the idols.
That is so exciting. Thank you, Pastor Phien, for sharing Thoy's story with us. And, you know, perhaps you're watching this interview today and you have family members that you long to see come to know Jesus Christ. You'd love to be able to share your faith with them. And the question I'd ask is, what's holding you back? And many times the thing that holds us back is that we just don't know what to say. And if that's the truth of you, we'd love to help you. Just click on the link that you'll find on our website for tips and resources and information on how you can learn to share your faith and then share the gospel with your friends and with your family, with your work associates, even with neighbors that you have. I know that you'll be glad that you did. God bless you as you do. Pastor Phien, God bless you today.
Thank you, and God bless you too.